Hey Scorpio, welcome to Key Wisdom. My name is Ruth. I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. And this, my darlings, is your extended reading for this time period. So we're going to look at three rows as we always do, darlings. We have our sun, moon and stars. I was going to say sun, moon and rising, but that's basically what it represents, reverse sun, moon and rising. So we look at your actions and experiences. We'll look at your feelings or what's hidden beneath the surface or might be hidden from your conscious mind. And then in the third row we look at the stars, so what's ahead, your destiny as you continue on this path. Ooh. Inner child, inner child, inner child, inner child, inner child, inner child. That is the, I don't even care what it says at the bottom of there. That is the theme for this reading, inner child. So that means that you're going to be confronting some inner child stuff. So things that you've dealt with when you were younger, or things that you traumas or experiences that were difficult when you were younger, that still in a sense play a role in your attitude now, or in your disposition now, or in your self-esteem now. It's nice because there's acceptance of inner child, there's acceptance that there was wounding, but that's the what you're dealing with over this time period. Let's have a look at some of the cards, shall we, before I just tell you it all intuitively. So we've got at the base of the reading the Seven of Pentacles. I hope you are well, Scorpio, by the way. I hope you are well. Seven of Pentacles, excuse me. Base of the reading, theme, the vibe, the resonance, if you will, of this time period. And it's a Seven of Pentacles. Pentacles is where we put our energy and effort in order to manifest security. Number 7 is my master number. I say that every time. And that number 7 is number of mystery. It's a really spiritual number 7, but it's because it's obviously it's linked to your seventh chakra, your crown chakra. It's all about enlightenment and the development of your awareness, intuition. So it's about why, how, what should I do? How should I do it? Why do I want to do this? How do I, all them questions. That's the questions really of the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. So let's have a look at the actual energies for the month. So we've got the King of Cups. So remember, this is in the masculine sphere. So this is what's moving us forward this month, or the steps that we're taking this month, the experiences that we're having and encountering this month. We've got the King of Cups, we've got the Four of Cups, we've got the Hierophant, and we've got the Page of Wands. So kings, knights, pages, queens are all related to change. Okay, so that indicates that you're going to be going through changes this month, and changes with your, in this instance, emotional world. This is your cups energies, emotions, isn't it? It's everything that's non-physical about you, to be fair. So your ideas, your your ability to feel, your ability to engage with your emotions, your ability to identify them, your ability to talk about them necessarily, or think about them, or interpret them, if you will. Cups energy has everything to do with that. And this is king, so it's masculine, so it's about action. It's about acting on our emotions, acting emotionally. Doesn't mean that you're necessarily acting out emotionally. Some of you could be actually acting out emotionally. We've got the page here, we've got the 4 here, so you could, yes, be acting out emotionally, not necessarily emotional outbursts, but definitely truths, emotional truths, foundational truths, that you're confronting, that you're confronting this month. And you do that, you seem to be doing that in with what's the word I'm looking for, consideration, with looking after yourself. So you're holding the inner child is holding your hand. I mean, that's really what happens. The inner child is so brave. I mean, people, they don't like the inner child. They don't like to think about when they were hurt, or when they were bullied, or when they were punished, or when they were abused. They don't like to think about those things. But listen, that child got you here. That child that you neglect, that you pretend doesn't exist, that you ignore, that you leave in the corner in that room in your mind, that little child got you to be here now. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that little child in that corner. So this time, Scorpio, you got to, that inner child is holding your hand. I feel that holding your hand. So there could be some emotional outbursts, but there's definitely emotions being felt, being spoken. The King of Cups, because of his maturity, sometimes we can call, river runs deep with him. I always say river runs deep with this guy, man. It runs deep. But the good thing is we are responding to our emotions at this time. We're responding to our inner child. I can't wait to get to here to see what's beneath the surface. Let's move on. 4 of Cups. Number 4. Blah, blah, blah. I was going to say foundations, structures. It's about the things that we build. It's like scaffolding. Number 4. That's what number 4 is. Number 4 is scaffolding. Yeah, it's what we build on. It's what we build up. It's what we grow up. Yeah, like for those of you that grow plants, the little poles that you put in. It's what you grow up. That's number 4. It's the structures that we grow up, that we grow within. The society that we grow up, we grow within. The rules that we grow up, we grow within. What are your emotional structures and foundations? That's what this card is asking you. What are my emotional structures and foundations? There's this is real, actually, at this time. This is real. It's like memories are coming in. It's like it's being offered to you again to look at this. Look one more time, Scorpio. Look one more time. And again, as I said, you leave that little child, that inner child of yours, in that room in your head, in the corner, and you ignore him or her, and you say, I don't want to look at you, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to engage with you, I'm over that, I don't care, you feel it, and it will just pretend it didn't happen. This is look again, look at me again, speak to me again, engage with me again, because this is what we have to do. I don't care who you are. I don't care how clever you think you are, how big you think you are. If you have a little inner child in your head, in a room in your head, in the corner, then that's you, and it's arrested development. That part of you was not grown up yet. That part of you was not seen yet, and there's not been seen everything that you've seen. The inner child, she's been looking through your eyes, just as you've lived and seen everything that you've ever experienced, and experienced everything you've ever experienced with you. However, yet you pretend that this part is separate from you, and this part of you is reaching out to you right now and saying, look at this again, we need to be embraced again. We need to be together again. That's where we get the wholeness, right? That's what's happening. Now, that sounds like a very metaphorical thing that I'm saying, but it's not a metaphor. That's what's happening. You in your mind keep that part of you separate, and that part of you exists. I don't know what you think real is. If you don't think that something in your head is real, then I don't know what. I don't know. You know, so you think that the suffering that that inner child feels isn't your suffering. You separate yourself. You separate into parts. But you're not parts, you're one whole. So you have to, that's where we're going. That's where you're going, Scorpio, this month. And you have to really engage and hold out your hand. She's holding your hand. I can't say she because I'm a she, and so my inner child would be a she. But but obviously you might be a he, or that's your. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, Hierophant number next, 5. 5. Let me tell you about the Hierophant card. Taurus's energy. I always say about this card, you can live your rules or somebody else's. You can live your life or you can live somebody else's. Now remember, 4 is about structures. Yeah, 4 is about the things, the institutions. Excuse me, not the institutions, the structures of our society. Number 5 is about the institutions, the things that we hold dear, the things that we hold true, the things that give us that dictate our behavior, these rules of society, right? Social norms, right? And you can look at the social norms of a society, of a place that you live, and you can look at the social norms of the institution of the building that you work in, or the department that you work for, or the school that you work for, whatever. And you can, that's what it is. You can live by those rules, those social norms, or you can live by your own. But, and however, the Hierophant knows both very well. The Hierophant knows the rules of the society that the Hierophant grew in. But the Hierophant also knows themselves. The Hierophant also knows the rooms that make up their own psyche and their own disposition and their own mentality and their own opinion. The Hierophant knows that too. So which is going to be the thing that's going to move you now? What's going to be the thing that moves you now, that moves you forward? Is it, and this is why the dissatisfaction comes, you know. This is what this card, it can represent dissatisfaction. I keep putting energy in, I keep trying, and I'm not building it. I don't get anywhere. Why? This is why. The Hierophant is why. This is why the 4 of Cups is why. Because it's about what's moving you. Why are you doing this? What are you doing this for? What is the motivation behind your actions? Have you just decided that that's who you want to be? Have you just decided that that's how you want things to work out? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm ready to do this. 7 of Swords in it. I'm ready to, I did that, me. I'm ready to get married. Oh, yes, I am. Until it came to when I was like, don't worry, no one got left at the altar, but no, I'm just saying. But you can say, oh, yeah, I told myself all the way through my late 20s, I'm definitely ready for this. I'm ready for it. And then when it came to it, was I yet ready? So then why was I telling myself and not pretending? Why did I believe so wholeheartedly that I wanted to get married, even though when it actually came to it, I did not want to do it? Why did I put all the energy and effort into that relationship, to that life, to that thinking, to that imagining what the wedding would be like, and having those conversations with myself, with the people? Why would I do that if I didn't actually want to get married? That's a question of the 7 of Swords. And the question that I had to answer was this question here. I had to look at myself, look at my heart, look at my emotions, look at the rules. So it's like, well, you're 32, you should get married. That's what you do at 32. So am I living by my rules or someone else's? That's the question. So that example I give you, yeah, I'm talking about me, but it's not about me, it's about you. That's the type of question that you're going to be going forward. So what is going to move you? I don't know, is the answer. All I know is you are going to move. You be very, very clear with yourself about your motivations. If you're just running to avoid your inner child, then you're going to end up back here, love. Remember number 8? 8's the new karma, innit? 8's new karma. 8's new experiences. You ain't getting there without doing this. End of. Because look, how can you live? The question is, live your rules or somebody else's? Well, what is your rules? Are you just doing what you're doing because that's what is expected of someone of your age, or someone of your sex, or someone of your ability, or someone of your whatever? Do you know what I'm saying? Of your nationality, or someone of your religion? Are you doing it because that's what's expected of you? or because that's what everyone else does around you. Because that's the question that you've got to engage with. That's what you're asking yourself. That's what you're trying to understand. Because if you are doing it for, I don't know, for whatever reason that isn't authentic to yourself, this is where we end up every time. So that's what you've got to be. You listen, you do what you want, babe. You do what you want, Scorpio. Listen, I ain't judging you. This is natural, yeah? So it's not as if you won't get another opportunity to engage with your inner child and to engage with that wounding. You'll get another opportunity, because that's natural in life, in the karmic cycle of life, babe. It's natural that you're going to get another crack at the whip. But this is the opportunity that's here now. So what's going to move you? This is the move. This is the act. This isn't thinking about the act. This is the actual act, the move, the motivation, the spark that moves you forward. And it's telling me I feel encouraged, shall we say, because it's the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is our key, our chi, or life force, subtle energy they call it. You know, Reiki, that's why it's key, you know, key, that's what wand is there. It's that energy, it's that movement. It's the thing that literally moves you, the thing that literally animates you, animates your body, animates us. That's wand energy. It's linked to our second chakra, our sacral chakra. What's the affirmation for the sacral chakra? You can't see it, so I'll read it to you. I feel, I want. So I'm encouraged that this is the Page of Wands here. No idea what's going to happen. The Page. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen when I do this. I don't know. But I feel like it's what I got to do. I feel like it's what I want to do. That's a good, that I'm encouraged by that. So let's look what's going on beneath the surface. If the divine masculine, the sun is pulling you forward, making you take steps. The divine feminine, the moon, is the wise wind behind you. Always got your best interest at heart, but it's never going to tell you what direction to go in. It's just going to push you along. Wise wind. We had this here in the same position for the last reading, which was Pisces. So, you know, I like to do anyway. It was here. We have the Eight of Wands. We have the Wheel. Well, Wheel of Fortune. Ace of Cups, the Tower. Okay, excuse me, I've just said Ace of Cups and the Tower. I'll say it because I was going to say it to be fair. Ace of Cups and the Tower. When you feel these, like, you know, as I said, I work with energy, so that's not just something that, it's not just something that I say, something that I do. These energies feel very, very similar to experience them. I'll just tell you that the experience of them energetically is very, very similar. The vibrational frequency is very, very similar, right? So I'll just talk first of all about the Eight of Wands. Basically, this is new energy coming in. Eight is about our is, as I said, linked to karmic cycles. Wand energy is energy, life force. So this is new cycles, energy of new cycles. So that's what's rumbling beneath you. You want to have the new. You want to have the different feeling. You don't want it to be the same. That's the same old stuff isn't moving you. So you think, I don't see any thinking cards here. I see reflection, I do. I see pondering, I do, but I don't see thinking. I don't see engaging with those mental constructs that you hold so dear. You have these ideas that are fixed, right? You have ideas about yourself that are fixed, right? I don't see engagement with those as yet. But the next best thing, the Wheel of Fortune. Now, this is, I was very keen when I was reading my my book, when I was looking at dharma. And I was very keen to understand, because there's lots of, you know, people always talk about dharma, what's this, and it's the... Anyway, so I was reading, I was like, do you know what? Yeah, I think it is actually the Wheel of Fortune. I had to come upstairs and check my tarot deck, because I was like, so basically the Wheel of Dharma is the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my God, yes it is. Now, I'm not going to bore you. It's not boring, actually. It's very interesting to me. I won't go into the details of the different. So there's 10 sections, if you will, on the wheel of dharma. 10 lessons. Now, dharma is lessons. It's learning. Now, I always say about this card that the thing that moves the wheel is awareness. That's it. The only thing that changes the environment that you're in, the room that you're in, the path that you're on. The only thing that can change it is learning. That's it. There's nothing else that can change it. The only thing that can change it is you getting the lesson, you getting the wisdom, you getting what you should have got from that time period, or from that event, or from that meeting, or from that relationship, or from that person. You've got to understand it's people always like to look at everyone else. They always like to look at, oh, it was his fault, it was her fault, it was their fault, it was them fault, it was whatever. But they never want to look at themselves, never want to look at, I stayed there because I didn't care enough about myself, for example. I stayed in that. That's not his fault. That's not their fault. That's your fault. Why didn't you care enough about yourself to say, this is unsatisfactory. I ain't going to stay there in this job anymore. I ain't going to stay in this relationship anymore because it's unsatisfactory. That's it. That's reason enough. That's reason enough. Then the wheels turn in dharma. Then the wheel turns. And you're like, yeah, it is enough, because who else is caring about you? Who else is caring about your well-being, your happiness, your headspace? Who else is? They've got their own headspace to look after. They've got their own flipping karma to deal with. Who's trying to look after you? Apart from your mother or your father or whatever. No one cares like that. Everyone's got their own stuff to deal with. So if you care enough about yourself, you will make sure that your life's as comfortable as it can possibly be, right? That you feel happy, right? That you feel joyful, right? That you feel blissful, right? The wheel's turning. The wheel then turns. So, what I'm feeling is you're responding. So maybe you are responding to this inner child. Maybe you are understanding what's motivating you, that the only reason you're even considering marriage to this guy or to this girl is because you're 32, and not because you actually want that relationship. You just want to. So then you're realizing that's enough to learn. That's enough to turn the wheel. We're turning the wheel with the number 10, then we get the Ace of Cups. Oh, well, heady energy. This is beneath the surface. So what this is showing is showing deep lessons. This is showing deep spiritual lessons. It's showing deep lessons of awareness. You're changing. Your awareness is growing. Your understanding of yourself is growing. And it's that understanding of yourself that's actually bringing about the changes on the inside. And then I guarantee you we'll see it on the outside. We'll see changes on the outside. Ace of Cups. We know what this card means. You don't need me to tell you this. This is but it's how you're feeling. So I'm feeling like your heart is open, full blossoming. It's okay to feel. That's what this card is saying. It's okay to feel. And what else is happening with this feeling is it's breaking down those walls. So I feel like you're in a child being freed, babe. I feel like you the wounding or the pain or the inner child wounding. That's what I know. I don't know what, but it's inner child wounding. Maybe from this lifetime, maybe from another lifetime for some of you. But there's inner child wounding going on. There's inner child wounding that you're finally noticing and you're transforming from. So there's a way of, and do not dismiss it, because some of you, that's what you've been so used to doing. You've been so used to dismissing that thought, dismissing that feeling, going, oh no, I'm just being silly, oh God, I'm just being paranoid, oh no. You're so used to dismissing it. You're not dismissing now. You're not dismissing your feelings. You're not dismissing your intuition. You're not dismissing them. I don't know why you feel this. This is me. I don't know. Let's keep going. We have this is what's bringing down the walls. I always praise Jesus, amen, hallelujah, when I see the tower, because this is the universe paying attention to you. This is like those wise winds giving you a bit more of a push in a specific direction than just randomly affecting your life and affecting your actions. It's breaking down the walls. So you come out and the inner child comes out as well. It's like I can feel, I'm going to show you with my hands because I can feel it in my heart, in my chest. It's like this, like a blossoming, so it's open. Now that can be, it's great to have to be open like that, but it can, it can feel quite emotional. I mean, you're a water sign though, so you might be okay with it. You might feel it quite intensely, but like I said to Pisces, your nature, you're not as bad as Pisces. Pisces, I say, if Pisces was a tree, they would blame themselves for the leaves falling off, and I'm saying it's nature. It happens every autumn, right? You kind of feel it like that, like every step, every moment, every life, every emotion, every feeling is like your fault in a way. Like, you're not as bad as Pisces are, to be fair, but you're not as sort of self-deprecating as Pisces is what I mean. You don't put yourself down as much. I hope you don't. But we're seeing a blossoming, a maturation. It's like it's time for that. It's time for that to be over. It's time for that to be over. It's time for the disappointments to be over. But you, Scorpio, are your own worst enemy though when it comes to getting over things. You need to know. Intuition is very important. You need to listen to your knowing, your intuition. You need to listen to that. Right, okay, so let's move on. So we've got, this is what's in, so you might feel, as I said, this is the walls coming down so that you can rebuild stronger. This is changes happening. We see changes coming in, new energy coming in. Hopefully you feel elated. There might be some tiredness because it's quite intense in a way, all this emotion. And this friction. We're in a theme with you guys, actually, with you water. Let's look at what's going on as we move forward. So we've got, this is end of the month, beginning of next month. So we've got the 5 of Wands. We've got the King of Swords. We finally got some thinking going. We've got the Hanged Man. We've got the Page of Swords. I was waiting for some swords energy because I need you to be able to talk to yourself. I need you to be able to articulate the emotions. I need you to be able to articulate this conflict that's going on within you. For Pisces, I said to them, they had these 2 cards but next to each other like this, and I said to them, this is what's going on. This is star energy. This is the universe and destiny going, this is the way you should go. This is what's right for you. And you're going, why? I don't want to go that way. I don't want to go that way. I don't want to go that way. So the universe is going, go this way, and you're going, I don't want it, and you're pushing back. That's the friction that's created with the 5 of Wands. But what's good about that is we ask why do we not want to, they didn't have this card, why do we not want to go this way, why do we not trust it, why do we not feel it? You're being pushed in a direction to engage, you're being pushed in a direction to look at, to question, to embrace, to feel, to respond. You're being encouraged in that direction. That's the wise wind that's behind you by the divine feminine, by your divine feminine. You're being encouraged to go in that direction. You're being encouraged to engage, to talk to your inner child, to feel, to let it come up to the surface. Imagine that room, that corner of that room in your mind with your inner child. Mine's a little girl, right? I don't have a room in my mind anymore. My mind is not a room, neither is yours, but however, for the metaphor, imagine I go to that girl, the girl in my mind, and I hold up my hand, my inner child, and I sit her down and I say, what do you want? Why do you keep wanting to talk to me? And inner child, she's crying, and I'm like, why are you crying? Like, what is wrong with you? And she say, well, I was hurt that you just left me here, and I went through all that and you just left me. And I say, well, I didn't want to talk to you because it was too hard to talk to you. Because I couldn't think about it in my head. I didn't want to feel it. I didn't want to think about it. And the little child goes, yeah, but because you didn't think about it, then you just left me here. And I was scared and I was afraid and I needed you. That's the 5 that, and the conversation will continue. Now, that wasn't me acting, when I did have to confront my own inner child, if you will, my own woundings from my trauma, from the trauma that I'd experienced. There was a lot of that, and I met my inner child, and she's matured now, bless her, but yeah, I met my inner child. And you can pick, for me, I don't know, I presume everyone's mind's different, but I don't know what it's like to have in your mind. In my mind, I saw like me, but little. But I didn't really see me anyway. But I had conversations like that in my mind, in meditation, obviously. So I'm lying down, and eyes closed, and I go to the room in my head. And this was in meditation, and I had the conversation, and we spoke to each other, and that's the energy of this. Because what happens is you have these conversations, and it leads to the lights being turned on in that room in your head. So now you know why she was scared, and now she knows where you went. Mine's a she, because I'm a girl, obviously, but whatever you imagine in your mind is fine. You have those conversations, and then the room is no longer a place you have to avoid. The girl, the inner child is no longer in that little corner of the room. The lights are turned on. We understand each other. You understand why you were hurt as a child. You understand how that's impacted you. You understand why you didn't want to deal with the wounding all that time. That friction is what creates the fire, the conflict, but it turns on the light, and it creates a clarity, which is what you're moving toward. You're moving toward that clarity. Now, there's vulnerability still with you, though, in a sense. There's vulnerability still in a sense. And I think that's what it is with this. Actually, now I'm coming to it, the Seven of Pentacles. It's like the knowing makes you feel vulnerable, in a sense, like the knowing that I've been carrying this wounding, or that this wounding has affected me in this way. It's like knowing that that now and understand that the light's been turned on in that room in your mind, right? That's what happens by end of September, October time, right? The light's been turned on in the room in your mind, so and you can see everything. But there's a vulnerability that comes with that, with seeing everything. It's interesting. I talked about dharma, I talked about lessons. This is quite a spiritual lesson for you guys. It's very spiritual. I mean, I feel that, I'm all over the, meditative concentration here and there, giving you this message. But the lights are turned on. So what happens when the lights are turned on then is you're in the room now. You're in the room in your mind. I wonder what it looks like in your head. I wonder, because I can see it in my head when I'm talking to you now. So you're in the room now, and the lights are on, and you sat there in a chair, and there's a mirror in front of you, and that's it. And that's where you stay for now. You stay there for now because you've got to understand the lesson of it all. Where do I go from here? So now that I know that I'm not a bad person, or a weak person, or a waste of space, or useless, or not worthy, or whatever, now that I know that, and you know that now because you've spoke to your inner child, you've recognized the wounding, you've healed the wounding, so you know that you're not a waste of space, a piece of rubbish, no good, blah blah blah, worthy, unworthy. You know that that's not true anymore. So you sat in that room, and it's kind of like, well, what? Wow, like what? Like, oh, okay, what? Well, okay, what now then? Who am I? What do I want to do? Like, how do I feel? Like, I don't really, because you've been so used to being a certain way and thinking of yourself in a certain way, and that you're not that person anymore, right? You don't think that way anymore, right? You don't feel that way anymore, right? So then what are you? Who are you? What do you think? What do you feel? Where do you go? Da, 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 da. That's the question of the hangman. The hangman is like the divine masculine. As you can see, it's not moving. The divine masculine pulls us forward. So that's the steps that we take. The divine feminine is the wind from behind. And the divine feminine is swept off your feet right now. Quite funny. And going, right, divine masculine, take a seat. It's not time to act. It's time to just be here and look and be here and listen and be here and feel and be here and just get used to being here. Get used to being in this room. You've not had access to this room for so many years because you've avoided it with the lights off because in a child's in corner. Now you've transformed out of that womb, din. There's no one in child there. Lights are on. What's this room for? Who am I? What am I doing? Where am I going? What? Etc. 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 This is deep. This is. You call it. There's two levels of mindfulness, awareness, enlightened living, etc. There's the mundane, and the mundane is I feel I'm sad, and when I'm sad, I do this. It makes me feel bad. It makes me think bad. I can feel better if I do this, right? That's the mundane stuff. So stuff happens externally to us and has an impact on us internally, emotionally, and that therefore in turn affects our actions, affects our thinking, etc. That's the mundane. And then there is what we call the supra mundane. And this is supra mundane. This is about, I won't talk to you about the different, I suppose, energies or entities. I won't talk to you about the different, what they're called and how they affect us and all that stuff. But this is a supramundane reading. That's what this is. This is about inner, deep inner healing, deep inner transformations, deep inner wisdom and understanding, Scorpio, that you're coming into. So this, I feel that the disappointment for you is that you want to just get on and do. You're like, oh my gosh, I've got over the wounded me, the child's not there, the lights are on. The only thing is, this is brand new space for you, brand new territory. Like I always, it makes me laugh how long healing takes, not how long it is, but how, like, it's an everlasting ongoing process. It's not something that just you do it once. You have a course, you take a course, you listen to it, you have a Reiki session, and then you heal. Woo! All right, babe. All right. But yeah, it always, so people don't like energies like the Hanged Man. People don't like energies like Temperance, because they're energies that kind of slow us down. They seem to slow us down, but they're absolutely completely natural. So don't be disappointed if you're not doing as much as you want to do right now. You're not acting on this new wisdom. You're not acting on this new in this new way that you want to act. Allow yourself to vibe with your new surroundings, okay? To vibe with your new, to come into, I like to resonate. I have to resonate with the day. So what I mean by that is when I wake up in the morning, I wake up and I watch, do whatever I do, but in that time before I work and I'm here, the hours, it's about vibing with the day. Like, okay, what's the wind like? Not actual wind, or like I don't go outside. It's about mind. I'm being mindful. I'm trying to, like, just sort of feel the day, if you will, like feel like how I'm feeling, like where's my body at today, like, where's my energy at today. Like I just have to sort of get into the vibe of like how I am. That's what you have to do with the Hangman, right? And you're going to be thinking, which is good. I like the fact that you're thinking at this point, because you've been feeling a heck of a lot, Scorpio, in August, September time. So it's nice to actually get some articulation. You're actually starting to, wow, that just happened. You're actually starting to say that. You're actually connecting the dots between your feelings, your emotional world, what's going on emotionally, what has been going on, what you have been feeling, and also mentally, like the feelings. So what I think and then what I'm feeling, you're getting to grips with how those two things are connected. Yeah, so how I feel and what I think. So if you tell yourself in your head that you're a useless, rubbish person, then you're not going to feel very good about yourself, are you? And then therefore, in turn, that's going to affect your actions, right? So there's a conversation that's going on between your head and your heart. Some might say, I wouldn't, but head and your heart, your emotional self and your conscious mind, your conscious self, and that conversation is ongoing, and that's a really beautiful thing to happen. So continue to allow that to happen. We need the conscious mind to catch up. We need our mental constructs, your mental constructs, to be deconstructed, which is going on in this process here, and to be reconstructed in a way that's more authentic and more realistic and more appropriate for where you are now after this time period. Okay, my darling. So I hope you like that reading. Very deep spiritual healing. So I like it for you. Yeah, I'll be keep an eye out for the readings that I do, which are called You Need to Hear This Now. They're just like readings that come out, and I do them, the collective readings, and so just keep an eye out for them. If you need to see them, whenever you watch them, they're for you, if that makes sense. The message will resonate. Okay, my darlings, I will be back, Scorpio, at some point with a brand new reading for you. Enjoy this time period, and I'll see you all again very soon. And keep wisdom. Take care, my darlings. Bye.